Jeremy Howard from Cru. Thanks for clicking in. This is the third part of our series on fine wine as an alternative asset. And it's based on the guide to collecting and trading fine wine that we published recently that you can download for free from our website. There's a link below. In this video, we're going to look at how you can set up your own fine wine portfolio and a few tricks on how to construct a great long-term investment portfolio in fine wine. So let's get straight to it. So if you haven't done so already, you're going to want to set up an account on Cru. It's very simple to do so. There are no charges. It takes a couple of seconds. And that's going to enable you to manage your fine wine portfolio and all aspects of trading, management, reporting, warehousing, everything you're going to need to do. So there's a screenshot there, you can see how the summary view looks. And crucially, with your account at Cru, you're going to get warehousing in multiple locations around the world. So you don't have to think about how you're going to warehouse your wine, how you're going to insure it, how you're going to manage it. It's all going to get taken care of on the platform. So once you're set up, you're going to need some strategies for how to invest. The most tried and trusted long-term strategy in fine wine is to buy at release and hold. If we look at Chateau Mouton Rothschild over the last 20 years, we can see that buying on release and holding has been a very good long-term strategy. In fact, if you'd bought every vintage of Mouton from 2000 until today, you'd have an average return of about 140%. And it's quite interesting when you look at the graphic that some of the best returns have come from some of the less heralded vintages, because the release price is often lower in these less fancied years, let's say 2013, 2014, you can actually achieve some very good gains by buying in those years. But obviously you're going to want to balance your portfolio as well. So it's important to know where the liquidity is. And this graphic shows current trading volumes across fine wine. And you can see that fine wine is still not dominated, but red Bordeaux is certainly a very important factor in fine wine trading. It's still over 50% of the market. But this is down from probably 90% 15 years ago. And what we've seen in the last 5 years especially is a big increase in trading volumes of Burgundy, Champagne, the Rhone, various other places around the world. So the fine wine market is getting much broader and much easier to access. And you can see that when you look at the number of wines that have been traded on the Fine Wine Exchange. A decade ago, we were looking at about 1,000 wines trading per year on the livex.com exchange. Last year, that number had shot up to over 7,000. Which is a pretty impressive increase in the breadth of fine wine trading. In fact, today we estimate that around 7.5 billion US dollars is traded in fine wine each year. However, the total market capitalization of fine wine around the world we estimate to be about 75 billion US. So you can see that the potential for trading volumes to increase further is very great in fine wine. And this is very much what we anticipate happening over the next decade, as platforms like ours and competitors get more sophisticated and we make it easier for people to buy and sell and trade their wine. Spreads should come down, which I'm sure is music to many of your ears, and the whole process should get much more efficient and much more liquid. Coming back to how you should think about your fine wine purchases, obviously you're going to want to take into account the views of mainstream critics. The days when a fine wine merchant could taste every single wine and give good quality advice are long gone. Platforms like Cru have over 15,000 different wines, and of course it's impossible for individual members of staff to have tried every single one. So of course we rely on the coterie of major critics around the world to guide us on quality. And of course you're not on your own. Cru provides a great deal of research, all free of charge. We make individual recommendations on wines that we think are undervalued and great buys for the long term. We also produce thematic research on different trends that we see in the market. So you certainly won't be on your own in terms of knowing what to do. In fact, we maintain a global recommended portfolio, and this is aimed particularly at newcomers to the market to help with some cornerstone holdings, which should provide a very good, strong long-term performance for your portfolio. So the message of these 3 videos is that fine wine really deserves much greater credibility and recognition as an alternative asset. It has very many very attractive characteristics as a long-term store of value. And we think many more people could and should have some small allocation of fine wine in their portfolio. So I hope that these 3 videos have been helpful in setting out both the case for fine wine and also giving you some tips as to how you personally can get involved in this very exciting emerging alternative asset. Thank you for watching.